Hey YouTube, this is Roy. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. The wife and I are going to be doing kind of like this, conversation topic, I guess. I hope you guys have a good Sunday. You know, we just came back from Taco Bell. And so we like to be honest with our viewers. I know it's been a few weeks. You guys probably noticed I don't film the flyers like I used to. You may not see the doggies like I used to. And then if you guys also notice as well, we haven't been filming on the Cornwell truck. And as you guys know, everybody has tragedies in their life, I guess. We all have problems. Some of us maybe choose not to talk about them. But I think for the viewers, I'd like to be honest, and I was telling the wife we kind of need to do like a mini documentary. But anyhow, we wanted to let you guys know that we had I guess a fantastic, really nice building. We had to move because we had already been like a year and a half. The lease was already up, so we were kind of going month to month. I know the owner wanted more money, which was something that we couldn't afford because nowadays, it's all a question about money, and you can't always, have what you would like. But we were comfortable there for many years. We had a fantastic landlord. It was just another chapter, another time to move on. So what we ended up doing is, as we were moving and stuff, if you guys remember our friend Alpha, I think we did a video together on the Snap-on truck, and we told him what had happened. And he said, I have a building that I work out of. If you don't mind working with me together as a team. And so we decided to do that. So we ended up, so we're actually filming in Alpha's shop. And so if you, I don't know how good you could see, if you notice in the background, I did bring it, because my wife also works here, we work as a team. So in the background, if you can see, we kind of bought just the essentials, kind of what we need, because Alpha also has equipment here that he said you don't have to bring yours, you can just use mine. And so so my wife's cart is the silver one, so she has all the materials that she uses for window tinting or the types of jobs that she does, like the headliners. And then on the cabinets that you see in the back, those are usually for waxes, sprays, that sort of thing, to keep them enclosed. And just to kind of decorate somewhat in the back, we bought those little cars that sit on the top.
You need to look that way when you talk, because they can't hear. I did buy microphones. I just forgot to bring them today. But we can compare this video to the others that we're going to be doing with the microphones, and they probably will sound a lot better.
Yes, we're going to do the video, and we totally forgot about the microphones. We were just testing those yesterday. And so to give you guys, kind of speed on things too, and then another reason why we kind of stopped filming on the Cornwell truck, that was our tragedy. So then, because I consider all of my friends, customers, everything, we're all like a family. We all have our jobs, we all have things that we do, but sometimes in life, in the events, there is things that happen. So our I guess our problem, or kind of what happened to us, was the moving of the shops.
Did they know that we used to live in the shop? Did you tell them?
No. No, we also at our previous shop too. We built so our shop had living quarters, had anything you can think of. It had kitchen, washer and dryer. My wife used to call it the Bohemian Living. So we probably invested like $9,000 on our living quarters, and we lived there for
13 years.
yes. So what happened was when we lost our home, instead of paying for somewhere else to live plus your shop, it became a hassle. So we don't have any kids, so it was just easier to move into one place at your workplace. And we made it cozy. It was comfortable. It was good as long as it lasted. If you guys decide to do that, I would recommend that you buy the building so that we're a perfect example as to, you'll have to ask the city, maybe the fire department, if you're allowed to do that. Even though our space passed the fire inspection, every year they would come and inspect and all of that. But it was our lease was up, so we had to go, and whatever we constructed stayed there. So whoever decides to lease that space will already come with it. But I recommend for you guys that if you do that, it's best that they buy the building so you can design it the way you want it and build the living quarters. And moving forward from that, our Cornwell tool dealer too, he had a major problem where his truck broke down, and I guess it had to do with the transmission. And nowadays, you have to order parts. They're very hard to get to. So it's been taking a while. I had kind of held off because I didn't know if I had the right to tell you guys, hey, my Cornwell dealer, his truck broke down. So I finally asked him, I said, we have to tell the viewers what happened. And he finally gave us permission to say, yeah, I'm not going to hold it against you if you let him know. He does come to service us anyway in his personal truck, but it's not as exciting as when we get the film on the inside the actual truck. And so tomorrow, when Jesse comes here tomorrow with our Snap-on driver, we're going to test the microphones. You, the viewers, let us know if they're working. I noticed that her Apple phone to do the filming is pretty nice. It's just if you have the AC on a little bit too loud, it's kind of hard to hear. And so we're trying to fix that because I know the viewers, a few of us had asked.
The microphones will block that noise of the AC, so he doesn't have to turn it down anymore.
Which is nice because
Yes.
since it's hot, and when you turn that AC down, it gets so we're gonna take care. And hopefully this Wednesday, I can film tomorrow the Cornwell Flyer. We already have that, and hopefully this Wednesday he actually will have his truck back. Another big tragedy, and it seemed like it all happened this month. Another big tragedy for one of our viewers was for Shepherd's Fleet. During that time that I was moving and stuff, I wasn't paying too much attention on the comments. So finally, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when we filmed, he wrote on the comments too. He said, I had this terrible tragedy. His house burnt down. Tomorrow when I film with Jesse, I was gonna get back on the comments with them. They also lost everything, because I imagine when your house burns down, you lose, everything. I mean, your whole livelihood. And apparently, I guess they had a new house. So what I was gonna do tomorrow was try to see if he would give us maybe like an address. And it would be nice if all the YouTubers that are watching, Even if you donate $1, you know, the gentleman, he works very hard. He's also a veteran. He has a family. And nowadays, you know, everybody's going through hard times. It's not just us. If you guys look around, I'm sure everybody has a hard time too. I don't think the economy is all that great, but you know, we still have to try to make it, you know, better. I do want to thank the viewers that support us. That, as a matter of fact, while I was in the process of moving, I think that we didn't film for like 2 or 3 weeks. So when we did get to film, it was kind of like they're like, "Oh, welcome back," and it was so nice because we felt like we were missed. And so on, I think it was last week's flyer. I also wanted to tell you guys too. There was 2 gentlemen that wrote to us. I think it was James Ridley. We wanted to congratulate him because he bought the 54 Masters. So for James, the wife's first box was cranberry. Was it the cranberry 54 Masters 2? And yes, on those you could add the hutch, and it's a super nice box. And I'm glad you went with that because when you buy a Snap-on box, maybe right off the bat it's best if you buy the Masters, because the Masters, eventually if you decide to sell it or whatever, they're the ones that hold their value more versus the classics. And then another gentleman that also wrote to us was Jonathan Sayer, 1142. He told us that he bought the red cart that Jesse had on the truck. I think it's the one that measures 40 inches wide. It's the candy apple red, and his has the sliding top. That's a really awesome cart. It's a tad bigger than the one you guys see behind us. And so that was some of the, these were the good events, you know, compared to the bad events that we were telling you. And this is also, I guess, like a perfect, you know, like to us moving with Alpha now too, we kind of feel like we have to start from zero again. And you know, in the other building, we had those big humongo boxes, and we all had to put those in the pods, and so we put them in storage. So we're gonna maybe bring as we need, as work demands to do here. But for the meantime, what you guys see in the back, the 3 cabinets and those toolboxes, they've been getting us by pretty good. And as the need comes, we'll eventually maybe bring them back, or maybe by the end of the year. This is kind of temporarily. We don't know if we are gonna rent another building. My wife's also talked about maybe retiring. So there's a couple of different plans. I know my family, they live in Houston, so they're also wanting us to see if maybe we would like to move to Houston. And what I wanted to tell you guys is, no matter what we do or where we move, we're always gonna film. And so even if I have to start from scratch in another shop, we're gonna keep you guys posted. It's kind of exciting because you get to paint, you get to put new lighting, you get to, it's pretty exciting. So on this video, I asked the wife to be with me and maybe give us some of the input. I guess what I would tell you guys really quick before I ask my wife anything too, for those of you that have those big boxes and stuff, you know, I guess this is my first experience. Like, for example, my Epic box was so humongous that it doesn't fit in a normal 2-car garage. If you have 2 vehicles, it's gonna be a tight fit. So whenever you guys think about buying those types of boxes, you know, of course, our jobs are not guaranteed. I may be working at a shop and I may buy the biggest box and then they fire me, or I have to end up going home. So always think about that too. Is this box going home? Is it going to a storage? Is it, so I think a lot of you guys are right that when you start out, maybe it is better to have a little roll cart like that and just keep the necessities, because that little roll cart will fit in a 2-car garage. Even if you have to squeeze it in between the cars, they got wheels, they're easy to move around. When you got a big humongo box, it's kind of it's rough. And I know a lot of guys that are technicians that have quit their jobs or changed jobs, they a lot of times they end up putting those in storage, and then you're like, if you're just storing that box and you're paying for storage, it can become an expensive decision. So and nowadays also, they're very expensive. I guess after COVID, all the prices went up. So if you bought a box, say for $6,000, say 3 years ago, it's going to cost you $12 now. So just be careful when you shop, especially with the economy being kind of slow. A lot of times I scroll through Marketplace. Sometimes you could buy those boxes that are paid off for a lot less. Of course, something like that, they're going to want cash. You can't finance it. But just make sure that if you decide to buy one of those boxes cash, that you call Snap-on or one of your Snap-on drivers and run the serial number, so that to make sure that that box is paid for, because Snap-on they reserve the right that if the box is not paid for, they can come with the sheriff, and they can come pick it up. So just be careful when you guys do that. And I don't know if I missed anything for the viewers.
No, I think that's it. I'll be posting our living quarters that we used to have in the shop. It was nice to get up in the morning and just open the door. We were already there. We don't have that luxury anymore. We have to drive to our friend's house that rented us a room and then come to work here with Alpha.
But you forgot to tell them, we did kind of make it homey here as well. I mean, we have like a fridge, we have coffee makers, we have a microwave, so we're able to.
We have internet and we can watch TV.
Yeah.
But I miss my dogs. Over there, I could see my dogs at any minute of the day. I wanted to see what they were up to, and I missed that.
Yeah, the cats, we had 2 cats. So at night when we closed shop, they kind of roamed around, and it was nice because if you see, we never had that problem, but if you have one of those little critters get inside the garage, the cats will make sure that he's taken care of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so, it's just things that happen, and, but it is nice to have all of the conveniences there. We saved on gas, we saved on a lot of things because the only time I think we went out of the shop was when we went to like a big store like Sam's Club. Most of the little grocery stores and restaurants were right around the corner, so a lot of times we just walked to them. So it was nice, but then again, I told my wife that maybe we were getting too cushy. Maybe I think God also tells you that there's other things to do, other people to see, other services to do. So you can't just be focused on one thing. You have to adapt to different things. I think that's how civilization survived over the years. It's just adapting to different things. You can't give up. I mean, sometimes you're gonna feel like you have to ask God for help, and you have to just keep going forward. And especially if you have a family, it's even harder, but you just have to continue going forward.
And life is like an adventure, and we look forward to our next chapter.
It's like Forrest Gump used to say, life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're gonna get.
So, but folks, thank you for being with us on this Sunday. Be safe if you guys are out grilling on the 4th of July. A big shout to all the vets. I think that's when most of the veterans celebrate 4th of July. You know, Josh and Shepherd's Fleet, all of those guys, you know, they were in the military. A big shout out to them. Be safe with the cooking. Watch the kids if you guys are around pools. Make sure to turn all the fires out when all the cooking is done. Just be safe. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and I know sometimes things happen, but you know, have a good time and just be safe. Just, you know, like everybody else. And thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll shoot the video with Jesse and we'll test the microphone. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.